plant breeding, molecular biology and biotechnology. He also has around 15 years of specialized experience. What happened? Jai Hind. Learning shapes the innovation of tomorrow. Good evening and very warm welcome to you all to day 25 of Agri SAARTHI KRANTI 2026, our prestigious 30 days National Agriculture Training Program. On behalf of entire Agri SAARTHI team, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all the participants, dignitaries and esteemed resource persons joining us today. I, Pratiksha, along with Dr. Vijay Kumari ma'am will be coordinating today's session. To begin with, I extend my respectful welcome to our course director, Dr. O.P. Chaudhary sir, whose continuous guidance strengthens this national initiative and inspires us towards excellence. I also warmly welcome our organizing director, Mr. Ajay Kasana sir, Chief Secretary of Agri SAARTHI, for his visionary leadership and unwavering support in transforming this platform into national movement for agricultural learning and innovation. A special and respectful welcome to our distinguished guest speaker for today, Dr. Shivdat sir. Before we proceed, let us briefly reflect on yesterday's insightful session delivered by Dr. C. Tara Satyavathi ma'am. The session highlighted the importance of millet as climate resilient crops, their role in improving nutritional security, and the growing entrepreneurial opportunities in millet-based value-added products and agribusiness ventures. It emphasized how promoting millets can contribute to sustainable agriculture, better farmer income, and stronger food and nutritional security. As we continue our journey of learning, it is rightly said, innovation creates new ideas, but protecting innovation ensures that knowledge continues to benefit society. Keeping this in mind, today we focus on a very important and relevant topic, intellectual property rights and technology management in agriculture. In today's rapidly evolving agricultural landscape, intellectual property rights and effective technology management play a crucial role in protecting innovations, encouraging research, and ensuring that scientific discoveries reach farmers and society in a meaningful way. Understanding these aspects helps researchers, entrepreneurs, and agriculture professionals transfer innovation into impactful technology that supports sustainable agriculture development. It is now my privilege to formally introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Shivdat sir is currently serving as principal scientist in genetics and plant breeding and also associated with intellectual property and technology management activities at the IP and TM unit ICAR headquarters New Delhi. He has more than 23 years of professional biotechnology. He also has around 15 years of specialized experience in intellectual property and technology management at ICAR headquarters, where he has been actively involved in monitoring, coordination, and management of agricultural technologies and intellectual property. Dr. Shivdat sir has also worked as a postdoctoral fellow in genetics at CSWR University, Cleveland, USA. Earlier in his career, he served as a scientist and junior plant breeder at Central Agricultural University, Impal, and later as a senior scientist in genetics at ICAR Central Arid Zone Research Institute, Jodhpur. Through his extensive contribution in genetics, biotechnology, intellectual property management, and technology commercialization, Dr. Shivdat sir has played a significant role in strengthening the innovation ecosystem in Indian agriculture. With his vast experience and deep understanding of IPR and agriculture technology management, today's session will undoubtedly provide valuable insight into how innovation can be protected, managed, and effectively transferred for the benefit of farmers and society. With great respect and honor, I now invite Dr. Shivdat sir to deliver his lecture on intellectual property rights and technology management in agriculture. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Pratiksha, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. Let me congratulate to the team of Sarthi, Dr. Ajay and his team for giving me this opportunity to share my views about IPR in agriculture. Let me share my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, Daxa. Please make it to full screen. Okay,
Okay.
Daxa. Yes.
Is it visible now?
Yes. Yes, Daxa. Please.
Okay. Okay. So thank you, friends, distinguished participants, students from across the country who have joined this program. I'm happy to, see. I mean, a lot of, participants have joined in this group. I think much more than the first, that one, your series, I think. So, uh, let me start with my topic is intellectual property rights and technology management in agriculture. It was assigned to me by your team. So before starting, what is this intellectual property? As you all know, this what is intellectual property and how these technology are being managed in agriculture, particularly in our large ecosystem, right? So before starting this intellectual property rights, why we are taking this intellectual property rights for agricultural innovations? Because as you know, the future of any country is the capacity of innovation, and turn knowledge into wealth. So these are the two major factors for, if we are talking about the future of any country in this, privatization and globalization era of the world, right? In economic world. So why we are, we have to actually basically when we are talking about IPR means we have to protect the, your innovations against the unwanted competition when you have generated your innovation and innovation is having certain commercial value, and when it is having certain commercial value, then many questions, many issues arise of infringement of your innovation. So to protect against the infringement to utilize by somebody of your innovation, basically IPR come into picture. So IPR gives the protection against the unwanted utilization or unwanted, competition in the market, right? So that is why this IPR is required, right? So then before, going into detail about my talk, just I want to focus on this, what is intellectual property? Because you must know the what is intellectual property rights. Intellect, which any creation or, idea which is having in your mind that is in intangible form, when your intangible form idea convert into the tangible form, the physical form, it becomes the property, right? And that kind of idea or innovation which doesn't diminish over the time, right? And then this whole intellectual, your idea, your innovation, which you have created in your mind, which has become the property, it must be protected under certain, under certain law, right? With a specific geography, right? So the rights are given under certain law in a territory, in a particular territory. So it is in territorial in nature, right? So rights are given in territorial nature to a particular invention for a particular period, for a defined period, right? Protection is given to whom? Protection is given to creator, to innovator who have created his or her innovation. So that is IPR basically. And these rights are basically conferred by the government under certain law to the owner. Who is the owner? You are the owner. You who have created the innovation, who have created idea or IP, right? So this is all about this IPR. I mean, this is the definition. I'm not going to word to explain here. And then these are the general features. General features, as I mentioned, and a different kind of IPR, and this kind of patent or the copyright or the design or the logo or the trade secret or what I know, 7, 8 forms of the IPRs are there. So the basic principle behind the protection of this IPR, basic features of IPR, if we talk, it is statutory in nature. I mean, every, the law is basically defined in particular territory or particular, in a state in the law, right? So statutory in nature and territorial in nature. I mean, suppose if we are talking about the patent in our country, so Indian Patent Act will, enforce, right, for getting protection under as a patent of your innovation. And then the rights are giving the monopoly kind of rights. You have your monopoly. I mean, the monopoly rights are given to the innovator. Innovator is whole or sole custodian of his innovation. If he doesn't want to, utilize his or her innovation by others, the total rights are with her or with him, right? If somebody will allow to utilize your creation or your idea, your innovation by somebody, by some other people, then he can utilize. Otherwise, he cannot or she cannot utilize your innovation, right? Subject to your innovation, your idea, your creation must be protected under certain law. That is, if it is protected as a patent, copyright, plant variety, as under the PPPFRA, I mean, these are different forms of the IPRs. And this enable holders to exclude others, as I mentioned, and this is given for a particular period. Suppose in case of the patent, it is given for 20 years and the rights for, life, right? For the varieties, it is given for the extent varieties for certain period, that is 15 years for the extent variety. So I will mention in detail in my, subsequent slides in this presentation. And then your innovation require some disclosure of information up to certain extent, right? You have to disclose information when you are going to, file for protection under certain, kind of this IPR, right? You have to disclose the information of your innovation, right? So you have to disclose that. And these are the different intellectual assets, basically. These are the different assets, right? Properties. It is, irrespective of whether these assets are being protected or not, but these are assets. These are assets being utilized for development of further research or development of product or the process or the, different, kind of innovations, right, or products. So, I mean, when we are talking about agriculture, intellectual assets, so these are the different kind of assets, as you all know, like different technologies, varieties, related to varieties, the, breeding material, germ plant, and all these publications, and then field data. Data is also equally important. That is an asset. When you are taking data and data is being utilized for further, generating further innovations, right? So as a background IP, so data is equally important, right? This is an asset. And then you have the expertise, you have the knowledge, you have the expertise in your area of research, your scientific area. And that kind of knowledge is also an, that competency as a professional competency of an individual is considered as an asset, right? Like for, you are giving consultancy in your expert area and expertise with your expertise, and then kind of contract research you are providing, or the contract services, different kind of, these are the different professional services are being provided by the scientist or the researcher or innovators, right? So these are different kind of, the intellectual assets. So now, when we are talking about the innovations, different kind of innovations, particularly in agriculture, we talk about the plant genetic resources, development of varieties. When we are talking about development of varieties, who are the conservers? Conservers are the farmers, and they are also creators. They are generating the germplasm or the biological resources, right? And they are conserving the biological resources. Innovators, breeders are being, they are utilizing those resources, and they are again creating new varieties or developing varieties. So there is a need of balancing approach of germplasm creator, right, and the providers, like as a providers, for example, farmers, and then the innovators. And innovators, they are utilizing to develop a new variety, right? So how this national and international policies, they came into, harmonized into, into developing a certain law or certain, IPR law in different countries, right? So international, being a member of, WTO, all the member countries have to follow the certain provisions, certain laws. Being member of other, the countries of UPOP, they have to develop the law for protection of varieties, right? Like member of, these CVD, they have to develop the law for biological, diversity conservation, utilization. So there are, different laws. How these, policies, they emerge and then develop based on those provisions of these international policies. Different countries develop their laws to, conserve their biological resources, protect their biological resources, or the innovations, different innovations. So this is basically the history of, just little bit, historical, and the perspective of how these international policies were implemented while developing the different laws for IPR, right? Well, before 1983, there was, the free exchange of germplasm, right? This due to trends of the globalization and privatization, the germplasm exchange mechanism have rapidly changed during last more than 4.5 decades. A major paradigm shift was witnessed then when this international policy environment from heritage of mankind means freely exchange of germplasm. There was no restriction of exchanging germplasm, before this, 1983. And slowly after this, when this sovereign rights, they talk about the sovereign rights of the nations, the primarily triggered by this convention of biological diversity, that was the CVD, which came into force in 1993, and they adopted during this summit of United Nations. And that it was actually, at that time, it was the first legal binding institutional mechanism. And this CVD was the, basically the legal binding mechanism, institutional mechanism, providing for conservation and sustainable use of all biological resources of their respective countries, right? Biological resources, biological diversity, with provisions of equitable sharing of the benefits arising out of the use of biodiversity. And the people are utilizing the biodiversity. And I mean, they have to, they must be equal benefit sharing out of utilization of biological diversity of a member country, of every country, right? Those who are following this, CBT provisions. Then these bioresources, based on this, India developed Biological Diversity Act. And this Biological Diversity Act basically provides the regulate access of all biological diversity, available in our country, right? Rises and, these all access and utilization, conservation of biological diversity and sustainable utilization of biological diversity, when equitable benefit sharing kind of provisions were made while developing this BDA, because there was a, need of this CVD, that every member country has to develop their own law for conservation of biological diversity. That's why the India developed this Biological Diversity Act, because being member of this. And then recently this amendment has been, enforced of this law in 2023. So this, after this internationally undertaking on PGR, actually at that time there was no defined and that kind of policies. Then This undertaking was, converted into the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture in 2004. It was the well-defined, established ITPs policy for at the international level, which facilitates the access and utilization and conservation of plant genetic resources, right? Under multilateral system of use of, under the standard material transfer agreement, and member countries, they exchange the material under certain bindings. I mean, they facilitated access of this, the provisions for the plant genetic resources at the international level, right? And because this, this CBD was meant to put in place regulation regarding access to germplasm and raise the required level of negotiations. And then this, however, it does not offer special treatment of PGR-FA, and which are of the different nature and crucial of this food security and sustainable agriculture. So this FAO simultaneously adopted a resolution for revision of this non-binding international undertaking on plant genetic resources. Based on that, actually, for this plant genetic resources exchange, this ITPGR-FA developed, right? And during this negotiation of treaty, and then it was realized that not only the plant breeders but also the farmers must have rights over their land ratios and the varieties. And based on that treaty, they facilitated access of ITPCR, FA, and the multilateral system. And this CBD gives this conservation and utilization for the bilateral system. And based on that, the BDA also provides under the conservation exchange of genetic material under bilateral exchange system, right? So the objective of treaty sharing mechanism are dealt differently. In the treaty has created multilateral system of access and benefit sharing. Access of benefit sharing, as I mentioned, it was the requirement of CVD also. So this international policy, they adopted the access and benefit sharing, while CVD and Nagoya Protocol of this access and benefit sharing creates mechanism for bilateral arrangements. Nagoya Protocol, basically this under this Nagoya Protocol, this conservation and sustainable utilization of genetic resources and enhancement of contribution of biodiversity, as the farmers are the contributors. So therefore their rights must be given, like the benefit sharing kind of the things, because they are contributing in development of enhancement of the varieties or the enrichment of biodiversity, right? So there, the sharing of utilization out of the bioresources or the biodiversity which has been, conserved by the farmers, right, and exchanged by the farmers. So they must get the equal benefit sharing. So that kind of, the Nagoya Protocol also advocates about this benefit access and benefit sharing. And based on all these, the provisions, the India also taken care of all these the provisions and the rights of the farmers under our the respective laws like biodiversity and PPP-FRA. And under PPP-FRA, we are protecting farmers' varieties, right? And this, as the mandate of this was the basically for developing this PPP-FRA, it was the great mandate of this WTO TRIPS agreement, trade related intellectual property rights agreement, where in the clause 27.3, it indicates about the member country has to develop their law to protect the plant varieties by developing their law by either in the form of the patent or in the sui generis system or both. So we in India adopted the sui generis system while taking all care of the rights or the interest of the farmers of our country. Then we developed this Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Act 2001, which is a unique law involved which, take care the interest of the farmers, breeders, researchers, right? And wherein we protect the varieties, because our patent law doesn't allow to protect plant varieties. That's why we urgently require at that time to have a separate law to protect our plant varieties. Then India developed this, protection of plant varieties and farmers' rights in 2001, where we are taking care of or protecting extant varieties and new varieties. And these are the different relevant laws when we are talking about, the laws, the IPR laws in agriculture, right? When we are going to protect our innovation, particularly in agriculture, we have to know this, the relevant laws. These three laws, Indian Patent Act, PPBFRA, and geographical indications, basically these are the very, very important IPR laws. But at the same time, these two laws, Seeds Act and the Biological Diversity Act, are equally important while taking the IPR on your agricultural products, especially the varieties, right? Especially on the seed related to biodiversity, right? So these laws, of course, this Seed Act and the Biological Diversity Act is not an IPR law, but it is required. But the provisions of these two laws are required while taking the IPR on your varieties, right? Like, and the plant variety is the single commodity in the world which is protected under three laws, right? That is under under Patent Act, not in India, but in abroad. I mean, in the US or in the Europe, certain countries, they protect plant varieties under Patent Act, right? And in India, the PPBFR under PPBFRA Act, right? But our Indian conditions, our country, the patent laws, they protect the different kind of innovations related to biological resources or other, kind of products, engineering, chemical, or so and so forth, right? And this gives the exclusive right to the innovator, as I mentioned in the, the basic features of IPR. So this basic feature of IPR is fulfilling in this Indian Patent Act as well. It is giving for a certain period, right? And your innovation must have some uniqueness. I will explain in my subsequent slide that how we get this patent and what is the basic criteria to get patent, right, on your innovation. Then the plant variety rights, as you all know, this is the exclusive right is given to the breeder, to the farmer and to the researchers. And they are free to utilize the, the material for generating new material, new variety, right? Developing new variety. And they have given the project provisions and taken care of interest of the farmers. Farmers can sell, produce, market, distribute, import, or export the seed, right? This kind of freedom is given to the farmers, Indian farmers. But they cannot sell the seed with the brand. I will tell in my coming slides. And these different kind of varieties in different crops, the crops which have been, notified or which have already been notified under this law, and they have developed the guidelines only under those crops, the varieties are being protected under PPBFRA. And then benefit sharing and the provision of benefit sharing is given because the farmers are the contributor, they are the conserver, right? So the equal share, the interest of the farmers have been taken care. I mean, they are contributing for developing varieties, So farmers compensation kind of, provisions are given. Then recognition, award kind of, support is being given. And then, in the geographical indications, different goods, I will explain in a different slide. And what is this geographical indications given for different commodities, right? Agriculture goods. It is given for particular goods under this product, under this geography, which is created. That good is expressing this character, essential character, or the the quality in particular geography, and that kind of product being protected under this law. And then Biodiversity Act, as I have already mentioned. And these are the different, the mechanism of getting the protection or the IPR, as I already mentioned. patent, copyright, as you all know, I am not going to tell into detail. And then industrial design, protection. And one important point is the protection of undisclosed information. The product or the process or your any innovation which is not being protected, which is not qualifying the criteria to protect under certain, IPR, this law, but this can be protected by making a kind of agreement, trade secret kind of things, that protection of undisclosed information in an agreement, right? You can make an agreement between two parties, and you are the innovator, you are the creator, and you know the know-how about your product, right? Now you want to give it to somebody, I mean, to some company or some, the stakeholder, and they want to produce that, right? So then you can protect it with developing a kind of an agreement, right? Confidentiality agreement. So your things will be confidential, and then I mean the next party, I mean the second party has to obey your whatever the conditions you have given. They have to obey. They will not disclose your information. So all sort of the things are taken as note on this kind of agreement, in the part of agreement, right? Then this protection of variety, geographical indication. Yeah, development of this, the breeders' rights in the PPVFRA. We have taken, the provisions from this UPOB guidelines, right? Though the India is not member of UPOB, but we have taken, the provisions as per the TRIPS agreement. Yeah, certain, the provisions we also follow, right? And this is, the patent, because legal right is given to the innovator, and innovator is having the monopoly of his innovation, right? You are the custodian, you are innovator. As innovator, you are having full right to disclose it, or to want to give it to others, or you don't want to give it to others, right? So that is, I mean, whole, the monopoly right is with innovator, right? And the patent, the product or the process, when you are going to file to protect under patent, your product must be it must be a novel product. It should not be, somebody has not been, innovated earlier, right? It should be a new, and it should have inventive steps, non-obvious. It is unique, right? And then it must have commercial value, industrial applications. If it doesn't have commercial value, your product or innovation doesn't have commercial value, it will not be, protected as a patent, right? Otherwise, I mean, you see, when we are going to take an IPR on your innovation, it must have commercial value. If it doesn't have commercial value, then there will not be any infringement. Nobody will use it. There's no use of that, right? Right? And then, one or the other way, it is, having the commercial and industrial value, then the infringement may take place, right? So to stop that in kind of infringement, you have to take, the right under patent, right? When your product is fulfilling criteria of patent, it will be considered as a patent, or it is, the product related to varieties. It is being protected under PPVFRA. Likewise, I mean, copyright and all, right? Then what is new? How we will say the new? It has not been, published. It has not come out in the public domain prior to, inventing by, you. I mean, before your invention, it must not have, in the public domain, right? Or in the even in the prior knowledge about that, right? And then claimed, it must not be claimed by somebody before your innovation, before you're disclosing that you're filing and the patent, right? So these kind of criteria must fulfill by your this one product. And then these are the different inventive steps. It must have technical advancements in this while generating your product, right? And then economic significance, as I already mentioned, and then not obvious, yes, to a person skilled in the art, right? And these are the non-patentable subject matters. These plants, animals, and as a whole of the part, these are not patentable. Seed, as I mentioned, the varieties were not protected under patent. That's why we developed this, the PPVFRA law. And then traditional knowledge now, these geographical indication kind of things, they are being protected, and traditional knowledge were not exempted from this non-patentable subject matter, and horticulture and agriculture simple methods are not patentable. Then these are the challenges for when we are going to file and patent, for getting patent on your innovation, invention. You have to give certain kind of information, which sometimes we don't bother, right? You have to disclose a filing sequence of your product related to gene, right? You have to obey the guidelines of NBA, issue the related permission kind of things from the National Biodiversity Authority. When your invention is related to biological diversity, bioresources or genetic resources, then you have to obey the guidelines of this BDA. You have to take permission of National Biodiversity Authority, and then you have to disclose all kind of information of your innovation related to biological resources, right? The date and accession, from where you have collected it, what is the number. So a lot of information is, so these are the challenges while we are going to file on the patent, right? Then again, there are certain opportunities are given, to the startups, to the applicant, to the as a whole institution as a whole, right? To the applicant, even in the individual, or to the small, entity, right? Then as I mentioned this about this PPVFR law, this Article 23, 27.3, basically this provides this the protection for plant varieties, certain the provisions. Based on those provisions, we develop this sui generis system, because either member country has to develop this WTO, set some guidelines to the member countries that you have to protect your varieties either through this patent, or through a sui generis system, or any combination thereof. So we adopted this sui generis system for plant variety protection. We developed our own law, this, and where we have taken the interest of this our farmers who are providing the contributing in biodiversity, right, for development of varieties. Then when we are talking this PPVFRA regulates by authority, that is PPVFRA authority, right? Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers' Rights Authority. And this authority, established in 2005, after enactment of enforcement of this law, and rules were also developed in 2003. And initially 12 crop varieties were notified. For them, these guidelines were developed, and then varieties were filed for protection, getting protection in this law. And then registration slowly started in crop variety in 2007, right? By filing of basically filing started in 2007. And these are the basic objectives of this law, because this law is taking care of protection of varieties, and then rights of the farmer breeders, as I mentioned, and then contribution, as the farmers are the contributors for developing new variety, because they are the conserver, and they are conserver and providing genetic resources for development of new variety, right? And then breeders also, basically to stimulate the investment for research and development of new varieties, right? So in the public and private sector are also contributing a lot of varieties in this, for getting protection. So growth of this, it contributes in the growth of the seed industry, which ensures the availability of quality seed, right, and planting material. And this is the triangle, basically, and the work in this researchers, farmers, and breeders sites in these objectives of this. So this is the procedure of this filing of plant varieties under PPVFRA for protection, for getting protection. First year, when we are filing your variety information for getting protection, the PPVFRA examine plant variety protection examiner. They verify application for completeness. They give the whole information, whatever they required in the prescribed format, which is issued by the PPVFRA. And this is the basic procedure. And then complete application comes to the PPVFR authority, And when this all by fulfilling all criteria and all these whatever the information they required, then they send to dust for the dust testing. Dust distinguish and uniformity and stability tests are being done at the different centers of PPVFRA, which includes the SAU centers and ICAR centers. And they generate the data. When your variety is fulfilling the criteria of dust, then it can be considered for protection of varieties, right? Under PPVFRA. And when, and then they publish this, information of your variety. And if any opposition comes about your variety, whether somebody comes that this is my material and I have developed prior than this fellow, and he has taken or she has taken my material and she is infringing my material, then they will provide the information. They will, take this information. The authority will take. If no opposition comes, then they can issue the certificate to the concerned breeder, right? Or and then the information that will be registered under the national register. Then annual renewal fees kind of provisions are there. Compulsory license kind of provisions are also there. Compulsory license means you have given a license to produce your variety seed by some company, right? And that company is not able to provide the quality seed or in a good price to the farmers, right? To the farmers. Then that kind of licensing, the authority has provision. They can terminate that agreement and give to somebody, some other companies as well before 3 years, right? Then benefit sharing kind of the revocation and surrender kind of provisions are also there. There are different kind of varieties are protected for certain period. As I mentioned, 18 years are given for trees and vines variety. It is initially given 9 years. Then again, there is a provision for extending again 9 years. And for all other crops, for field crops, it is given for 15 years protection, right? Initially 6 year and extension for 9 years. Then extent varieties, I will explain what is extent, what is new. And then extent varieties are the notified varieties or the purpose varieties or the variety of common knowledge, which is protection is given for 15 years from date of notification of your variety, release notification after release of. Yeah, this is basically what is this distinguishedness. This, as you all know, that let's say your variety must be, distinguished from other varieties, at least for one essential characteristic for which that variety has been bred, right? And your characters should be stable, uniform, and then your variety name must be denomination. It should have the alphabet and numerical number, right? Like PUSA 1509. So PUSA is there, the alphabetic, and then the number also, right? Then extent variety testing is given for 2 locations, 1 crop season, and then two locations for 2 crop seasons testing are required, right? This is mandatory requirement of PPFRA, which is testing is being done at dust centers. And farmers varieties, they do the grow out test and decide by authority case-to-case basis for essentially derived variety, that is ED. These are the important features of this law. As the freedom is given to the researchers' rights, means as a researcher, you can use any seed of the varieties for research purpose only, right? And then for conducting this experiment or this initial source of variety, authorization of breeder of registered variety is required when you are going to utilize for repeated use of that variety for developing a hybrid kind of product, right? When you are going to develop a hybrid, every time you require fresh parent seed, right? Parent. That at that time you have to take permission of the concerned breeder, who is having owners of that variety, right? Breeder of that particular variety. Then the extent and EDB varieties, the authorization for repeated use in EDB is also required. Essentially derived varieties as variety which are coming from the prior old variety, which is having all essential characteristics of old variety, I mean the previous variety, having additional trait, and but having all essential characteristics of previous variety, right? Then safeguarding of farmers, as I mentioned, ensuring quality of seed, that compulsory licensing. Yeah, these are the different varieties are being registered. New variety, when it is called new, when the variety seed has not been, sold, or it has not commercialized before 1 year, right, in India, right? And out of India for tree and vines, not earlier than 6 years, or in any other cases, 4 years, and it must be distinct and uniform and stable. So when this variety is, fulfilling these criteria, then it will be, called as new variety. Otherwise, the variety will be considered as extant variety to protect under PPPFA. Extant variety that notified under Seed Act, and farmers variety of common knowledge, right? Essential draft variety, as I already mentioned, then farmers traditionally cultivated and even evolved by these farmers, wild relatives, land ratios, which are being developed or maintained by the farmers, and that possesses common knowledge. And these all are considered in the farmers. And different crop varieties have been notified in the country. More than 200 variety crop species have been notified. For these crops, the different varieties of concerned crops are being considered under this PPVFRA for protection. The number of applications scenario, when the portfolio of plant varieties under PPVFRA of this, different kind of varieties, right? More than 20,000 varieties have been submitted for protection in different, commodities, different crops, and it is, having more than 12,000 varieties are being, have been submitted by these farmers, right? Highest number. Then this is the final registration of varieties after out of more than 20,000, around 21,000, more than 10,000 varieties have been protected, right? The significant contribution is given by farmers. More than 50% varieties are, protected by farmers, and followed by private sector and public sector. Right? And this is the portfolio of different type of varieties finally protected under PPVFRA. Commodity wise, cereals are having, cereal varieties from the cereal crops have significantly contributed for protection of, of all these varieties under PPVFRA, more than 6,000, followed by vegetable crops. And then this is the status of ICAR, SUs, and private farmers, right? Crop-wise details about the ICR's varieties. ICRs have contributed, significantly in rice, followed by maize and wheat. I mean, the highest number of varieties have been contributed for protection of, getting protection on the PPVFRA, and a different category of crops, varieties, sorry. Extend new variety. Then finally registered is the, portfolio of plant varieties. About 1,400 varieties have been protected. And first is the maize. Maize has got highest certificates, the grant certificate for protection. And then, all other varieties are on pipeline to get protection. Then GI, as I mentioned, because it gives GI protection is given to the, to the state, to the community for quality, expression of the quality, reputation of good, which is expressing certain, the characteristics of the certain goods which are being protected, and, which are essential for attributing to get, protection under this GI Act. And this the kind of characteristics and the quality is basically expressing under certain geography. So that geography, in that particular geography, the protection of that good which is created or developed under that geography, and it is being created, being developed, being produced, that is given to a particular geography, to the government or state, or to the community, right? These are the different classes for the agricultural goods are being protected under geographical indications. In all 34 classes, Out of these 34 classes, these are the important classes where our agriculture products goods are covered. These are the examples of different goods of geographical indications in the different states, right? Yeah, different goods are of the related to agriculture. Yeah. This is the scenario of this getting the protection of GI in different goods of agriculture during this last 10 years. Maximum significant number have been protected for getting protection under this law. BDA, as I mentioned, because under BDA there is a provision of um, not to get the permission of NBA, National Biodiversity Authority, by the person who is non-Indian. Every non-Indian, if they are going to take any information, even material information related to the biological resources, they have to take permission of National Biodiversity Authority. And research results of the, recently they have added here the results of the research which is being utilized for further research. The registration with the NBA is also required. And when we are going to get IPR based on the knowledge of biological resources or the material which is being utilized for creation of innovation product process, then you have to take the permission of NBA. And when you are going to file an IPR, so when you are going to file patent, even before granting patent, they will ask to fill up that form. You have to get permission of NBA. And if the material is or the research output or your product or process is being utilized for commercial utilization, then again you have to take the permission of NBA, right? But there are certain exemptions are given for collaborative research programs for the government organizations with the international organization, with the equivalent international organization, right? Which are fulfilling the guidelines of Government of India. Then there are certain exemptions. And this is the IP portfolio of ICAR, where how you mean IPR culture, IPR ecosystem, initiated in NARS system, you can say. In ICR, particular as a NARS as a whole. So before independence, only two institutes, these institutes based on the commodity, that the Cotton and Jute Institute, they filed the patents in during 2147. And that first patent in agriculture was filed in 50 by IRI after independence. And then 1950 to 95, 10 ICAR institutes, they filed. I mean, at that time, there was, no system before that to filing these patents, getting patent, right? And up to 96 to 2000, there were, guidelines developed. That was the Johal Committee guidelines for professional service functions, providing consultancy, contract services. At that time, these based for regulating these guidelines, IPR cell was established at ICAR headquarters for the first time. After that, slowly certain universities they opened their IPR cell at the universities. So first, this guidelines, set guidelines of IPR were established in 2006, and then the full-fledged scheme were developed, in the 11th plan, then in the 12th plan, the National Agriculture Innovation Fund, which is still it is being run in our ICAR system. We have covered almost 100 institutes in our ICAR system. Where the technology management, IP patent, IP filing, protection of all kind of IP related to agricultural research and its allied field, right? All these institute in the Institute Technology Management units, that is ITMU, are being taking care of all kind of IP being developed by institutes. And these are the cells in the custodian nodal cells, nodal units at the institute level. Then at the zonal level, we have unit in the 10 zonal institutes in the 10 zones, and the ICAR headquarters, where we are looking over all the coordination management and this all coordination, protection, even facilitation of the protection of IP and technology management in agriculture. And then again, we have agribusiness incubation centers, incubation centers to facilitate, to create the startups, entrepreneurs based on the innovations of ICAR or the innovations or idea from their entrepreneur side, right? So we provide the facility, we support to the startups, for the validation kind of the things, facility to get the funds with the from different financing organization. We provide this kind of technical backstopping support at our ICR institutes with with the, and we have established guidelines, as I already mentioned. Yeah, and then again, with the new IPR policy, as you know, in 2016, Government of India developed the IPR policy for awareness and outreach promotion of IPR programs, IP, to enhance the IP ecosystem in our in country, right? Then creation of IPRs. I mean, of course, before that, and we have established a system for getting IPR in agriculture. As I mentioned, in 2006, these full-fledged guidelines were developed, and it has been implemented all over our across all the institutes in the ICAR ecosystem. And based on these guidelines, the SAUs have also, some SAUs have also developed their own guidelines. And then again, we have for commercial wing of ICR, we recently established one company, that is Agri India company. And this company, under their this supervision, they are commercializing our ICR technologies to the private industry, right? So they have taken the responsibility of commercialization, because the ICR institutes main that unit is to develop the innovation. Now the next, go to the market. Now the next step is to go to the market. How we will go to market? So our institute facilitating in this direction, and full-fledged company has been established. That is the Agri India. This is taking care of all commercialization kind of aspects of all the agricultural technologies developed by ICAR. Right? And this is the IP portfolio. Yes, I mentioned for the the ICR. Plant varieties and patents, more than 800. These are the filing status of the IP. And then this is more than 6,000 licensing agreements have been signed for about 1,800 technologies in ICAR. I mean, a lot of technologies are being developed. We have already developed, commercialized, are being commercialized, right? And ready for commercialization even. So this is, the whole, the scenario of intellectual property in, and the technology management in ICAR. And major, 85 ICAR institutes are involved across all 28 states. Yeah. This is the, scenario of, the technology commercialization status when we are talking about. Then the seed and planting material contributes the highest, the share in commercialization. That is more than 22%, followed by food processing and post-harvest related technologies, then the farm machinery kind of technologies, right? In different subject matter domain, like natural resource management institutes are there. They are contributing then the highest in the licensing, contributed by horticultural science institutes, then followed by the crop science, right? And the number of, when we are talking about the number of technologies, fisheries science have contributed a lot. Engineering also, yeah. Then this is the impact of incubation ecosystem. As I mentioned, we have the incubation system in the country, and in the the incubation centers are funded by different funding agencies as well, like from DFW. From Atal Innovation, from NABARD. I mean, different agencies are funding these incubation centers, including our ICR 15 agribusiness incubation centers. So this is a little bit impact of these incubation centers. More than 4,500 incubated startups have been, facilitated, right? And it has these, benefited to more than 40 lakh farmers. And this is basically the impact of one variety. That is, wheat variety ST2967. I mean, few examples I have taken over here. This variety has been licensed to more than 35 countries across the country, right? So you see the impact of one technology, one variety, right? And a lot of, area has been, covered by this variety, right? And this is approximate value. I mean, this was the impact. We did quite earlier. I mean, 3-4 years back. So, and this is just example I have taken over here. And then SD3086, it has been licensed to more than 200 seed companies. So you see the demand of this, varieties, right? And then this is technology of basmati rice variety, that is Pusa Basmati 1509. I mean, it has been licensed more than 43 companies country. So it has contributed a lot in the Indian, country's revenue, right? This is the impact. So this is the takeaway points from my talk. That is, these IPR is the legal framework for protecting your rights, whatever the creation you have, created, you have innovated, that must be protected. So there must be a legal right over your innovation. And then when we are talking about, rapid advancement in the frontier area of science of agriculture, then you must know how to, how to get the legal protection all over your, so this regime gives the, the protection over the legal protection for the technologies to regulate the different kind of, technologies to get the IPR over there, right? And then there are, international negotiations, international policies. Our Indian policies and international policies must be in a harmony, and that we have developed and we have implemented as well in our ICAR or in agriculture NARS ecosystem, right? And then IPR basically, as I mentioned, this IPR actually stops the unwanted competition, right? Unwanted competition means that when when the money is involved, then when money is involved, then infringement kind of things involved, right? So to stop those kind of infringements, IPR is very, very essential. And when IPR is is giving giving the impact for protection of these different kind of innovations. That's why these innovators, they are coming forward to make the long investments for your innovations. They can invest something to get your innovation, right? When you have already taken IPR. If you have not taken IPR and you have given your innovation to somebody, then definitely that will be infringed by somebody. So to stop these, IPR is very, very much essential when we are talking about science as a whole, and the agriculture in part, right? Agriculture and allied fields. So with this, thank you all for patience listening. If you have any question, I would appreciate. Thank you all. Yeah.
In agriculture, ideas are as valuable as seeds. IPR protects them, and technology management helps them grow. Wow, what a session, sir! We express our deep sense of gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Shiv Dutt, sir. His vast experience and scholarly insights have greatly motivated and enlightened all the participants. Sir, thank you for your power-packed session. Now, we will be moving on to the query and interaction session. Instruction to the participants. Those who have questions are kindly requested to post their questions in the chat box. Once again, I request all the participants to post their question in the chat box. Sir, there is a question, sir.
Yeah.
The question is from Pupala. Are trademark and copyright or intellectual property are same?
Yeah, intellectual, basically the trademark and copyrights, these are the different forms of IPR, right? Your product is related to trademark. Your trademark is one kind of IPR, and that is, taken under trademark law, right? The protection is given under trademark law. And when your invention or the creation is related to copyright, it will be protected under copyright. So these are the different forms of IPR. Okay, like varieties, PPV under PPVFRA, plant variety protection, like patent under Indian Patent Act. So these are the different forms of IPR. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you
The
understand.
next question is from Arya Singh. How can we proceed our career in this field after BSc Agriculture?
Yeah, after BSc Agriculture, actually, yeah, if you have any creation, you have any idea, if you have any innovation, and that innovation now you want to you have created now, you want to a culture, the ecosystem for developing a business, to start a business over there, right? So you can go for our incubation centers. Incubation centers provides facilitation for establishing small entrepreneurs or the business, small business, right? They will give the ideas how to establish the business, right? How to establish your small enterprise based on your innovation. Or if you want to take innovation from our institutions, right? Research institutions have a lot of technologies, a lot of know-hows. Based on those know-how, based on those technologies, you can take those, right? Or you can join, n number of companies, n number of startups, n number of the entrepreneurs related to agriculture, right? So a lot of avenues are there to basically to join in this ecosystem, right? That's why this based on IPR, now IPR has come in converted into next step, that is the incubation centers, right? Incubation, through incubation centers we are providing, facilitating to establish the business, how to raise the innovations to the market, to the stakeholders, right? So there is a ecosystem based on the incubation programs. So different incubation programs are there, right? And even you can participate in hackathon programs. So out of these hackathon programs, we take those ideas to give up to the second or third or fourth stage, right, to develop a business, right? So those kind of ideas we provide, I mean that we facilitate, right? Our centers facilitate, our agriculture based incubation centers, they facilitate in that. So this is the a whole a lot of opportunities are there to join by these freshers. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The next question is from Praveen Kumar. There are many forest and medicinal plant species that are endangered or extinct. If a farmer grows under his control, can he claim an IPR for preservation?
No, IPR cannot claim for preservation, but yeah, certainly, this under BDA, there is a provision of, that permission, to get the permission from the, the State Biodiversity Board or local board, management committee board is there under the provision of BDA. So under BDA, everybody has to, whenever they are going to take those kind of material for getting commercial benefit. If somebody is going to get commercial benefit out of that, then he has to take the permission of that. Otherwise, general bed, the hakims, or traditional beds, they are free to utilize those kind of material, right? But they cannot commercialize that. So for commercialization, I mean, if they are getting from that kind of, from the particular community or the biodiversity, the equal benefit sharing provisions are there for the farmers, right? So all these biodiversity are protected under BDA. It is not individual's property. It is not IPR property, but it is protected under BDA, right? So BDA gives the, regulations for, conservation and how to utilize and how to get benefit out of it, right? So, for that, there is an authority, that is National Biodiversity Authority, which regulates all the provisions of BDA. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Raj. Sir, as we know that trademarks and patent is property, so we can sell that.
Yeah, after protection, you can sell, and you have right. If you have protected your innovation as a patent or as a trademark, and now you are the custodian, you have the monopoly right? You can give to certain company by making a license agreement. You can license your technology to somebody. They will produce, they will multiply, because you cannot multiply. So you can license to somebody, right? You can give the license to, to a certain period. Up to 3 years or whatever it is. You can decide. So you are the custodian, you are the innovator. So you are the, you have the monopoly right. So all rights are with you. Now it is up to you whether you want to, give somebody to utilize it or not. So all rights are given to you under Patent Act and Trade, all kind of IPR Act. Right. Yeah, please.
Sir, similar to that, when ICAR develops any variety, why it is sold to private companies?
Private companies, we are not sold. We are giving license to them. We are giving license to produce, because ultimately we have to reach to the farmers. Okay. So this is one channel through private companies and our government channel also, by multiplying, giving to the National Seed Corporation, State Seed Corporation, right? And another is that by giving the license to the private companies. We will give the license to the private companies for a particular variety. They will multiply, they will save, but they will give the royalty to us, and that they will give the revenue to us. After selling that kind of that material, the seed, right? So there is there must be some the provisions. We give the kind of provisions in the agreement. In agreement, we decide how much time you will take to sell, multiply and sell this seed, right? And then they have to take all the due care of quality, because once we have given some seed to the company, now it is the responsibility of that company. They have to maintain the quality of the seed, right? And it is their responsibility to reach the material to the farmers at a reasonable price, not at the higher price, right? At a reasonable price. So these conditions we give, because our ultimate aim is to reach the variety to the farmers. By both the ways, by extension functionary, by the extension ecosystem, by our government ecosystem and the private ecosystem, right? So that is the purpose of that. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Chandalinga. As per IPR, microbes can also be patented. Whether protection is given for microbes as a whole or only for application using patented microbes, since they are already extinct in nature.
No, you see, the microbes are basically are coming from the nature. You have not created. So microbes you have isolated, so that is a discovery. You know the difference between the discovery and the innovation, right? Innovation is you have created something, but in the microbes you have taken from the nature. So now biodiversity law will come into picture, right? So based on the information, based on the microbes, then again, you are going to get an IPR over your product or the process, whatever you have developed innovation, but you have utilized the microorganisms, then definitely you have to take permission of NVA, National Biodiversity Authority. As such, microorganisms cannot be patented, right? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Manish Kumari from Jharkhand. Her question is, why horticulture or agricultural crops are non-patentable? Please tell me it in Hindi.
Yeah. Because you see, as I mentioned in the patent, because patent gives the exclusion of this, because these are not patentable subject matters. Okay. In patent, it was not patentable subject in the patent. Now, the provision made for protection of varieties, seed and all in this for the varieties. Now, the question comes, the methods of horticulture and your agriculture. So methods doesn't fulfill the criteria of getting IPR. So IPR's criteria, what is that? It must be new. It must be, non-obvious. Your method is not non-obvious. Everybody can do that. Plowing and all these kind of things, whatever the methods you are applying, you are giving, you are getting cutting or, budding or kind of things. So they are horticulture methods you are applying, but that is not a new. Nothing is new in that. Nothing is non-obvious in that, right? So that is not fulfilling the criteria of all kind of IPRs. It is not fulfilling criteria of variety. It is not fulfilling criteria of patent, not copyright, not your trademark, not all 7-8 criteria, right? there are different forms of the IPRs, and every IPR is having its own unique features. Unique feature means when we are going to file an IPR, if you are going to take an IPR, your product or your innovation, your process must fulfill the criteria of those kind of IPR where you are going to get, right, protection. वो जब तक फुलफिल नहीं कर रहा है तब तक आपको आईपीआर किसी में मिलेगा ही नहीं. यू कैन नॉट गेट आईपीआर इन एनी फॉर्म ऑफ द डिफरेंट लॉस ऑफ आईपीआर, राइट? अगर if your innovation is fulfilling the criteria of, like for patent, it will be protected under patent. If it is fulfilling the criteria of trademark, it will be protected under trademark, right? And if it is not fulfilling the criteria of any kind of IPR, and it is having kind of formulation, and if you have kind of mixture, unique kind of mixture, which is giving a unique kind of product, right? Even that, you can make a confidential agreement. Confidential agreement, as I said. Confidential agreement you can make with between two parties, and you can, on agreement, simple agreement, you can protect. Okay? You can make an agreement, right? So that confidential kind of agreement for your know-how. So those kind of things which are not covered under IPR, they may cover as a know-how for getting in a kind of protection for through this your confidential agreement. Okay, by making confidential you can get. Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. There are multiple questions from Dhanraj. First one is, discuss the importance of IPR in innovation and economic development. Second one is, what are the criteria for obtaining a patent? And the third question is, what is the duration of patent in India?
Yeah, duration of patent, from last question I will start to give answer. The duration is 20 years, and getting patent are three criteria, as I already mentioned, that it must be your novel or new, your product must be new, your process must be new, your technology must be new, it should be non-obvious, okay, right? And it should have some commercial value. It should have some commercial value. If it doesn't have any economic value, commercial value, then there is no meaning. It will not fulfill the criteria for getting patent. So this is for the patent. And first was, what was that? First question.
Discuss the importance of IPR in innovation and economic development.
Yeah, economic. That's why, in economic, because, the commercialization is attached with your innovation, right? The money is attached with your innovation. So your knowledge has been converted into wealth. Your knowledge has been converted into wealth. once the knowledge has been converted into wealth, then the IPR comes into picture, and then investment kind of system will arise. When the investment kind of system will arise, the money will money will come into picture, because once the commercialization will start, then they definitely, under the economic era, it will significantly contribute. So commercialization and innovation with commercialization is, I mean, these two things goes hand in hand, right? The two things going hand in hand, because once your knowledge has been converted, because your creation has been converted into wealth, if it has some value, commercial value, then this IPR comes in, right? So that definitely this IPR contributing to the economic world. Okay. Yeah. Because in the privatization and globalization, when we are talking about the privatization in this economic world, then definitely this money comes into picture, the investment comes into picture, and investment can only be made to the protected technologies first, right? Preferably, because once your innovation is protected, then definitely people will come to invest in your IP. Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. There are too many questions. With your permission, shall I go, sir?
Yeah, please.
The next question is from Gaurava. Role of GI in agriculture technology management, and how to help the farmers.
Yeah, this, the GI is contributing to the farmers. The farming community gives suppose the traditional variety, the basmati, which is giving the fragrance in the, in a particular area, like a Kala Namak variety of, Uttar Pradesh, right? Which is a scented rice, okay? Which is having, export value. And that variety is protected under GI. Because in a particular geography, that variety is coming out, right? That is being produced under particular geography, not all over the country, because that basmati will not give the fragrance in Maharashtra or in MP or in some other states, right? It will give the fragrance in particular pocket of state of that UP, right? So that's why, likewise, one example I have taken, and then other. So the community of that particular region, because that variety is, protected under GI by the government, state government, and the community is attached with that. So definitely the community, the farmers who are growing the seed of that variety, definitely the demand of that variety will come, right? Then farmers will produce and they will contribute. They will sell their seed. They will sell their material. They will sell their, goods, right? So definitely farmer will get benefit out of that. Yeah. No, your voice is not coming. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Atul Kumar. He has multiple questions. The first one is, how does the protection of plant varieties and farmers' right act balance the right of plant breeders and farmers in India? Second question is, how can India balance strong IPM while still ensuring farmers' traditional rights? And third question is, what are the major barriers in converting agricultural research into marketable technologies? And the fourth question is, what is the difference between patent, copyright, and trademark?
So you have asked, all IPR possible questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will tell one thing. This, to getting, the protection from the farmers' perspectives, protection of plant varieties, and the, first question was how to harmonize this, PPBFRA, protection of PPBFRA, under PPBFRA, breeders and farmers' rights, right?
Yes.
Because breeders are also developing the varieties, right? And farmers are also developing the varieties. Farmers are also breeder. When we are taking the definition of breeder, farmers are also breeder. Under PPFRA, farmers have contributed a lot of varieties. lot of traditional varieties, lot of folk varieties, right? Lot of traditional varieties, folk varieties, those varieties which have been developed and they are contributed, and improved and exchanged among the farmers, right? And then these are the folk varieties. And then the land races, as you know, the land races, these are the primitive cultivars, right? Primitive cultivars that was grown by ancient farmers. So kind of land races, right? And they are contributing so we are considering those kind of varieties, I mean, as a farmers varieties, okay? And farmers are contributing to get protection. And now farmers can produce those varieties, seed of that variety, and they can sell, they can market, they can sell their seed, right? But without the brand, okay? And they can exchange, they can sell, resell, resow, right? So they are all kind of freedom are given to the farmers. Now the breeders are also contributing for the development of varieties, development of new varieties. So farmers and breeders are getting material from the farmers and they are developing, right? And sometimes breeders are also creating our breeding material. We are creating our material to develop varieties, right? So though the benefits for developing their varieties, the benefits out of utilization of those kind of varieties, the sharing of royalty kind of things are given, the provisions are given. So these, the two, both farmers and plant breeders are both benefited under this law. Okay. Now the question second was, what was the second question? What was that second question? I forgot that. Yeah. Can you repeat?
So 1 second, sir.
Yeah. Second question. What was that second question?
How can India balance a strong IPM while still ensuring farmers' traditional right?
Yeah, so the farmers' traditional right. Yeah, traditional, as I mentioned, this under Biological Diversity Act, all kind of provisions have been taken care, and this NBA is the regulating authority for that. So even under PPFRA also gene savior kind of awards are being given to the particular community farmers, and the biodiversity management committee at the block level, at the state level, and it is already provisions are there. So the access and benefit sharing out of utilization of biological resources are being given under these certain guidelines. So their set guidelines are there, right, under AVS guidelines, which have been notified in 2014. All kind of provisions have been taken care of. All interest of the farming community have been taken care of, who are contributing in the biological diversity as well as contributing in the development of plant varieties, right? So both laws are taking care. Then the third one was, what was third question was IPR laws. What was about?
1 second, sir.
Third question. Third question. What
Third
was
question
that?
is what are the major barriers? What are the major barriers in converting agricultural research into marketable technology?
Yeah, you say the barriers basically there are certain levels of developing innovations. We are innovating up to a TRL level 3 or 4. We are not reaching up to TRL level 7, 8. And 7, 8 level is basically the marketable level of innovations, right? So sometimes we generate the data and we forget about that. And we create the data, we publish the research papers, and we forget about your project or the material, right? When you are going to create an innovation, you have to reach up to the logical end, up to the basic utilization to the society, right? When you are going to create the innovation to reach to the society, then definitely the things, the question will come for marketable kind of innovations. Then there are certain stages. That's why most of the scientists, most of the researchers, they stop their research at the TRL 3 or 4 level. Very few percentage of innovators, they reach up to the TRL level, 7 or 8. That is the marketable level of your innovation, right? So the major thing is, well, the people, they don't, think about, the up to the last milestones, up to the last stakeholder. They create certain innovation, they create data, they publish their material, they have, completed their project, they stop there only. But they never think about the final product, final, process, which is, important for society, for human being, right? For society. If it is, important, if it has the commercial value, if it has the, importance for the health, human health, or human, life, then ultimately the things will go to the market. So sometimes we stop at the TRL level 3 or 4, our innovations. So this is the major drawback. Yeah, please.
So next question is from B. Akash. Do stringent IP protections on seeds, for example, patents on hybrids, lead to monopoly, excessive pricing, and reduce the seed diversity?
Yeah, I mean, definitely for, hybrid development programs, definitely every time you have to use the parents. Yeah. Therefore, earlier, I mean, there was a provision to protect the parents as well as the hybrids. Protection of parents as well as hybrids. I mean, that is not a question of monopoly. Monopoly is one thing. I mean, that for monopoly, you are giving the rights. All rights, I mean, monopoly, why monopoly is not given to innovator? Because innovator, you have, contributed, you have created that, you have developed that. Now you are the innovator, you have developed your technology, and monopoly is given to only the technology, the innovator only, right? Not to the others. So innovator has to decide how it can reach to the stakeholders, right? If monopoly is having with the innovator, there is no harm. And then there is a provision that innovator has to give the license, right? Has to give to the, license to the private company, they will multiply it. And then again, you are free to give this, the material to the government system, to the channel of the extension system, right? Our ultimate aim, being agriculture expert, being agriculture scientist, our ultimate aim is to develop the product, variety, technology to the farmers, to the community, to the society. We have to contribute to the society. So our ultimate aim must be to reach our innovation to the society for benefit, for best benefit out of your innovation, right? So that must be there. So all these kind of, the things have been taken care under our, laws to get this protection. Because IP protection is given, but then at the same time, there is a provision of compulsory licensing. There is a provision of licensing of technology. You can license. You are free to use for research. Even if you are utilizing material for research, there is no harm. There is no, that hindrance to get that material to utilize. But definitely, if you are going to commercialize it, you have to take permission of particular innovator, because innovator has contributed his time, his money. He has contributed a lot of things while generating that technology. Why that, he should be, avoided for getting kind of benefit out of the innovations of a particular person or particular innovator, right? That's why it is required. IPR is required. Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, what are the most effective methods to ensure that modern agricultural technologies developed in research institute research farmers in the practical and timely manuring?
Can you repeat again this question? Because this is very, general question. Yeah, please. Can you repeat it?
What are the most effective methods to ensure that modern agricultural technologies developed in research institutes reach farmers in the practical and timely manuring?
Yeah. So this is one of the factor. I mean, getting IPR is one of the factors. Yeah. Because if you are not getting IPR over your innovation, definitely it will go through the government system, but without any restriction. Anybody can utilize it. Anybody can utilize and get benefit out of it, because there is no, legal control. There's no, legal protection over your innovation. When you are getting in legal protection, then definitely it will stop to, utilize, to infringe your innovation, right? Your ultimate aim is to reach to the society, definitely. But when you have protected it means it has contributed double, contribution in, reaching to the farmers, reaching to the contribution. Because ultimately you have to stop to infringe by somebody, right? So the industry can take it and they can get benefit out of it, and you don't have any control, you don't have any legal protection over your innovation. Then you will lose each and everything. I mean, somebody is getting money and you have created, you are getting nothing, your organization getting nothing, right? And once you have protected it, then definitely the things will regularize in a legal manner, so legal protection is very, very much essential to get protection of your technologies, your innovation. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Ningan Tum. After it is a patent, the right for the product is protected for 20 years. But after that, do we need to do the same product patent again, or what will be done after the tenure of 20 years for the product?
Yeah, it is given for 20 years, but that renewal kind of provisions are there, right? Otherwise, if it is after 20 years, it will come in a public domain. So after 20 years, it will come in public domain. Otherwise, you can renew it. So there are provisions of renewal of your, your protections in the Patent Act also, and even the renewal of your, varieties in this PPVFRA. So those kind of provisions are there. Yeah.
Okay, sir. The next question is from Ritika. Any entrepreneurship opportunities in this sector?
Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurship opportunities are there, and you will around more than 1200 startups, entrepreneurs in agriculture, based on the agriculture. This one, our ICAR technologies we have developed, we have created, right? A lot of entrepreneurs we have developed, startups have been developed based on our based technologies, even the technologies related to agriculture. They have created, or the innovators himself or herself, they have innovated, and they have come up with us with our ABI centers to get some idea to how to establish the business. So those kind of facilitation are being provided to entrepreneurs, and new entrepreneurs are being developed by we are giving, our centers are giving awareness kind of programs, entrepreneurs development awareness programs, right? In entrepreneur EDPs, entrepreneurs development programs are being run by our different institutes, where all these new people comes and they join, they get idea how to start the business, how to develop the entrepreneur or the startup, right? Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. The next question is from Praveen. If I get a crop variety from a foreign country where it is not registered, can that variety be patented in India IPR regulations?
Yeah, that can be protected. That can be protected. Foreign varieties can be protected under India and PPVFRA, right? Or even your variety, if you are going to give to some other country, you have to protect. You must protect that variety in that country also with their law, right? In our country, it will be protected under PPPF, definitely not under patent, but it will be protected under PPPF, right? So that the custodian of that particular variety or the custodian country, definitely they take care about protection of their variety when they are exporting or they are giving the variety to other country, right? Yeah.
Sir, there are too many questions, sir. Shall I
Please.
answer?
Yeah, please. 2-3 questions you can ask. No issue. Yeah, please ask.
Okay, sir. Can AI be the patent owner or inventor?
What? Please,
Can
can you?
AI, artificial intelligence, be the patent owner or inventor?
It is very difficult question because this, you see, the AI is nothing. AI is based on the data available with the, computer system. I mean, the networking system. So based on the data, right? Data, based on data, these AI are given, but that cannot replace the, the individual or the innovator, right? But yeah, of course, I mean, such kind of, the things definitely may arise in the future. But so far, I think those kind of things are not there. Yeah, please.
So next question is from Aditya. I think it is repeated one, but how to use IPM in crop breeding system?
Yeah, IPM is integrated pest management.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is IPM what? Intellectual property management
Intellectual
or
property.
Okay.
Intellectual property.
Intellectual property management in what?
Crop
IPM in?
breeding system.
Okay. So crop breeding system, yeah, definitely. I have already mentioned that you have to protect the breeding material as a breeder. Breeder are creator, right? Breeder are developing varieties. So when you are developing varieties, when you are developing even breeding material, right? Yeah, as a new variety, you can protect. If your variety is stable, definitely if it is stable, if it is fulfilling the criteria of your material is a being breeder, I am breeding a being breeder. If my variety is fulfilling the criteria of thus, I can protect it. And when it is protected, intellectual property management plan, basically we can commercialize it. Now we can commercialize it. So that is the part of intellectual property management plan, right? So now we can license it. Okay, as a breeder, you can license through your organization. When you are working in an organization, you have to follow the guidelines of organization, of your concerned organization, right? So, I mean, all these kind of, these set guidelines are there in the ICAR system, especially if I talk, and even in the SUs, even our whole NARS, there is a set system for that. Yeah. So breeders definitely contributing in this IP management. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Asta. How can farmers protect their traditional knowledge under intellectual property rights?
Yeah, traditional knowledge, yeah, in that through this, the documentation of this TKDL, even traditional knowledge through your this one, some geographical, this one, some thing kind of things are protected. Protected means part of this Biological Diversity Act, or traditional knowledge documentation kind of things are there. So if it is already registered in the like TKDL, right? Traditional Knowledge Laboratory. So they register their information, and so those kind of registrations are there. So your information is already registered. Then and moreover, whole biodiversity kind of things are being taken care under BDA also, right? So if anybody wants to take information based on the bioresources or the innovation created based on the bioresources includes all. I mean, it is traditional knowledge and all, because traditional knowledge ultimately, if it is related to the bioresources, the biodiversity, then ultimately it will be protected under this one patent, and while getting patent, and you are taking permission of NBA, and you have to obey the provisions of BDA. So each and every, this law and every provisions are interlinked. Okay. So one or the other way it is being protected. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Sachin Kumar. How do we prevent evergreening in agricultural patents where companies make minor, non-essential changes to a seed technology just to extend their patent life and maintain a monopoly?
No, yeah, I mean, this is the basic principle. I mean, I'm not talking about this one particular this one. The basic principle is when you are, generating any innovation, any technology, any product or any process. So if your product process is, fulfilling the criteria of patent, now you can get patent and before going to the information in a public domain before publishing or even before publishing your material you must protect it if you know that it has the importance of your this one. I mean it has the commercial importance, it has the importance for the society, right? And it is very important, it will generate some money. Even your sometimes your process, this is not a final product but it is process for developing certain product, that kind of process can also be protected as a patent, right? So whenever you are feeling that your innovation is new, your unique, your innovation is unique, your technology is unique, and it is having certain value, right? And it is non-obvious, right? I mean it is not commonly this one created, commonly available information is not commonly available, not in public domain, that definitely is must be protected. Getting legal protection is no harm. It will definitely, benefit you, in the long run. Maybe you cannot be able to commercialize today, but your technology can be utilized by somebody to generate, second, third technology, right? So your technology will contribute as a background technology of that. So somebody, if third person develop his technology, which is already involved, the information from your innovation, he or she will contribute in the benefit to you also. So he has to give. And your at the same time, your technology is already protected. When it is your protected, you can claim that my technology, my background information of my technology, my IPR has been taken by somebody to generate the third technology, right? In that, direction, in that way, your technology is also contributing, and he or she has to, who has developed that third technology, he has to give, the share, the contribution of your particular innovation, right? So that's why, I mean, one or the other way, this legal protection is always essential. And then another point is, while getting this legal, how you will get, how will you can ensure that I can get the protection of my innovation before planting your project, before initiating your research, before initiating your program of any innovation. You must do the prior art, whether the any information, any work has already been done on that aspect, or it is already been done by somebody. If it is already been done by somebody and information is in the public domain, then your technology definitely will not be protected after some time. You will lose. So means your technology is not having any uniqueness. It is not non-obvious. Okay, it is already done by somebody, right? So if one of the three criteria is not fulfilling by your technology, your innovation, it cannot be protected. So you should think about that. I mean, in the many, the engineering technologies or other technologies in foreign countries, you see, they do the prior art search before, starting their research program. They do the prior art search. Likewise, you do this one review literature and all kind of things. So there are certain programs of computer programs I mean, giving your keywords on that in that program, you will find out how many, people have done the work on your aspect. How many people have already protected the innovations based on your aspect, which you are going to plan, right? If it is already been done, when you are expecting the technology in your future, in the future from your, innovation, plan of innovation, right? It is already been protected, then there is no meaning of that, right? Then you will not get any, commercial benefit out of that. You will not get any benefit, right? So that kind of things are required. Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Praveen. What is the cost of registering a variety and hybrid under IPR?
Registering a variety or crop, yeah, it is not exactly right now I can tell, but earlier it was around 10,000 or 20,000, something like that. But exactly that PPVFRA site you can search. You can search from the PPVFRA site. They have given the the fee structure of those variety registration. Yeah, but renewal fee is very less. It is around 2,000. Renewal fees every year. That renewal fees is very less. So it is not too much. I mean, you can sometimes they change that. So you can access from the PPVFRA site. Yeah, please.
So the last question. Why are the traditional knowledge and indigenous practice difficult to protect under modern IPR system?
What is the difficulty?
Yes, sir.
No difficulties. I think as such, no difficulties because there are rules and regulations are there. So rules and regulations and these laws for IP are well defined, like geographical indications, right? Your even your traditional knowledge, the documentation, right? And then following provisions of National Biodiversity Authority, rules regulations of BDA. So all these kind of things are there to regulate the things to get IPR. Yeah. So one has to know the different provisions of different these relevant laws. These relevant laws which are essential for getting IPR. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call our Chief Secretary, Dr. Ajay Kasana, sir, to share his words.
Jai Hind. Thank you, Dr. Vijay. So first of all, thank you so much, Dr. Sivdat, for such an in-depth and detailed session that you have provided knowledge about intellectual property rights and its real application in agriculture. Because as we all know, agriculture students and the different stakeholders, they are not aware about their rights, and they create the technology, and they are not aware enough to let that patent it and let that registered with the concerned authority. So really, I hope our participants are going to protect their intellectual property rights, because these are the very, we can say, important aspects while pursuing your research and your scientific studies. So thank you so much, Daksa, for this lecture.
Thank
And
you.
we are very blessed to have you today amongst us for this lecture on Agri SAARTHI, and we look forward to have such more detailed sessions from you. Thank you so much, Daksa.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all for patience listening. Thank you. Thank you all your
Thank
whole
you.
team, Dr. Kasana ji and your team. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all students for patience listening. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the Agri SAARTHI team and all the participants, I extend my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Shivdat sir, Principal Scientist, for delivering an exceptional, insightful, and thought-provoking lecture on intellectual property right and technology management in agriculture. Sir, your lucid explanation of IPR concepts, coupled with our real-world examples from agricultural research and innovation, has greatly enhanced our understanding of how intellectual property safeguards creativity, accelerates technology transfer, and strengthen the agricultural innovation ecosystem. Your guidance on managing technologies from lab to land was both enlightening and highly relevant for researchers and students. We are truly grateful for your time, expertise, and wisdom you shared with us. Your session has inspired us to think strategically about protecting innovations and responsibly translating researches into impactful agricultural solutions. Once again, thank you, sir, for your invaluable contribution and for making this session a memorable and enriching experiences for all of us. My
Thank you.
sincere sincere thanks also to our organizing director, Mr. Ajay Kasana sir, Chief Secretary of Agri SAARTHI, for his continuous support, meticulous plan, and guidance, which ensured the smooth and successful conduct of the today's program. A special thanks to Ms. Pratiksha for her coordination and support throughout the session. I take this opportunity to thank all the participants for their enthusiastic participation, active engagement, and thoughtful interactions, which truly made the session lively, meaningful, and successful. I also place on record my appreciation to the entire Agri Sarathi team for their dedicated efforts in organizing this 30-day National Agricultural Training Program and for constantly providing a valuable platform for learning, capacity building, and professional development. Before we conclude, I kindly request all participants to ensure that the attendance form which has been shared in the chat box is duly filled. Please note that submission of the form is mandatory and the link will remain active only for 30 minutes. Once again, thank you all for your valuable time and participation. We look forward to your continued association and active participation in the forthcoming sessions of Agri Sarathi Kranti 2026. Protect knowledge, encourage innovation, and empower agriculture for the better tomorrow. Jai Hind.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
So आशुतोष जी, बोंजाई आर्टिस्ट के लिए जो प्रोग्राम की आप बात कर रहे हैं, तो अपकमिंग डेज में अगर ऐसा कोई प्रोग्राम हमारे यहाँ पे आएगा, डेफिनेटली वी विल लेट यू नो, यू कैन बी देयर इन द ग्रुप. ओके, हाल फिलहाल में अभी कोई प्रोग्राम नहीं चला हुआ, जैसे आएगा आपको बता दें. Nandini is asking how we can know our attendance, sir. So my dear friend Nandini, your attendance will be sent to different like you are present in the group, so it will be sent in the groups with your name. You can check your attendance, and although if you are sincere enough, you know कि आपकी attendance कितनी है, but हम लोग भी अपने end से जैसे आपका complete हो जाएगा training, we will send the attendance. Okay, so Raj Loya is asking about the examination date. Examination date is 24th of March. Time will be 6 to 7 p.m. in evening. Okay, Sambhavi, I have already answered the query about the examination timing and the type of questions will be asked. And the exam will be online itself. Yes, you can appear for the exam from your mobile phone. Amrita is asking about the passing marks. So the criteria, your college or university follow the same criteria we also follow. No negative marking will be there. If your question is wrong, then it is not going to fetch you any marks, but negative marking is not there. Bhushan is asking, sir, some of my friends have not joined the program. So new Sarthi program, when will launch so that they can join the new program? So new program will be launched in April month. We will be sending the details very soon to the different WhatsApp groups. You can let know your friends and they can register. So I'm asking about the PPT. So okay, I have lost all the documents in my WhatsApp. So Subham, please message to the number, helpline number. I'm also typing the number in the chat section. You will be getting, like our team will forward the PPTs with you. Apurva Mishra, I think I have said the detail about examination. The examination will be on 24th of March. You will have a proper time of 7 days period to prepare for the exam. And the examination will be on 24th of March 6 to 7 PM शाम को 6 से 7 बजे 1 घंटे का एग्जाम होगा जिसमें 100 सवाल आपसे पूछे जाएंगे जो कि ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप भी होंगे शॉर्ट आंसर टाइप भी रहेंगे. Very good question. N. Venkatasivani. The recorded videos will be posted just after completion of this particular training program. जैसे ही आपका mandatory session हो उसके बाद में आपको recorded lectures upload कर दिए जाएंगे. तब तक whatever the reading material has been shared with you, please go through that and prepare accordingly. Right? I have discussed about the exam pattern. And, okay, Vishal Thakur, you are asking about, sir, why you are changing the time from 6 to 5. All right, so Vishal Thakurji, I apologize for the inconvenience because sometimes the speakers, they are working at different offices from ICAR and it is not able to let them stay up to 6 to 8 p.m. That is why we are just preponing for 1 hour. So your cooperation is required because if you will see in the 30 days, only 2-3 days we prepone, right? We never postpone because there is no possibility, but if there is any circumstances arises, then we prepone for only 1 hour. So please cooperate in this regard so that we can have a smooth conduct of this training program. I hope you will understand it. Attendance will be sent in the group, right? And Omkar Kishan Bhule is asking about the certificate. The certificates will be sent to your email ID and it will also be sent a hard copy to your given address. Either it is you have provided your home address or university address, it will be sent to you. So that certificate you need to submit to your principal of the college or the registrar or the dean, faculty of agriculture or the college of agriculture, whoever is the concerned person you have to submit, they will allot you the credits. Okay. And for the verification on the certificate, there is a unique QR code is given on your name. So anyone can verify that you have completed the course and you got the certificate. Tonu Kumar is asking about, sir, the material English में होगा हिंदी में होगा. So I think if you are attending daily classes then you are aware कि किस तरह से जो सेशंस जा रहे हैं और पीपीटी आपको जो है डेली मिल रही है. सर बी कीपिंग का प्रोग्राम कब लॉन्च होगा? अमित कुमार इज आस्किंग. सो बी कीपिंग का जो प्रोग्राम है, प्लीज बी देयर इन द ग्रुप एंड वी विल लेट यू नो द अपकमिंग डेट्स फॉर द पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्राम. Okay, so Sanjana B. Hanchanavar is asking, PPT notes is enough for exam. So the PPT notes are enough at the first instance, but along with that, I think you have attended the classes. So whatever the topic was discussed during the class, that was most important. After that, the PPTs or the PDFs are only for the help for your revision and for actual learning. You need to be attentive in the class. You need to ask some questions if you have any doubts, and you also go through the recordings, and that will be enough for your examination, right? No negative marking, Pratikji. Priyansu Mandal, you have mentioned wrong date of birth. You please message to the helpline number. Our team will correct your details. And my dear participant, whoever filled any wrong details by mistake in your registration, you can reach out to our team. They will correct your details. I request Team Agri SAARTHI to please share the attendance link once again. Sachin Kumar Rolania is asking about, is there any placement after completion of this training program? So, my dear friends, you need to reach out to different companies and this different establishments who provides the internship opportunities. If there will be some post, I'm not ensuring you. If there will be something like that available at Agri SAARTHI, definitely that will be posted and the priority will be given to you. Okay, but as of now, we are not providing any internship opportunity for everyone. So if there will be any opportunity, we will let you know. Otherwise, you can reach out with your knowledge, your certificates, and your capacity to different institutes, and definitely you will be placed over there, right? Jill Kunt is asking about, sir, automatically leave the class and automatically join the class. How is it that possible? So I think our team have already provided solution. If you have messaged them, please update your Zoom application. Allow that. Please check your internet connection also. That will be helpful for you. Vanilla, I have already mentioned about the type of questions will be asked in the question in the exam. And next question is from गोविंद सिंह मीना. सर ये सर्टिफिकेट टेस्ट के अन्य यूनिवर्सिटी में यूजफुल है या नहीं? गोविंद बेटा, ये ऑल ओवर इंडिया में सभी जगह यूजफुल है. What about the practical exposure you told us we would get? So Vijaya Lakshmi Patil is asking about the practical exposure. So I think if you were there in the classes and she also left the meeting, no issues. Let me tell you. There are lot many sessions in which we have practically shown you the setups. If you talk about the saffron farming, if you talk about the different mushroom farming and other topics in which practical exposure was required, our speakers have managed to orient you with different opportunities or different practical things available with them. Along with that, in the coming future, our delegates, according to our planning, may visit to your university or college and they can have a proper session for only practicals. If you talk about any natural farming, like how to make Bijamrit, Khanjiamrit, and different formulations like Harmaster, Neemaster, Dashpani Ark. These all the things will be taught to you in the coming days. We have planned something for you, but as of now, like this requirement of this particular course is online, so we have tried to give you theoretical as well as practical aspects in the same training, right? And recordings will be provided post completion of this training program. Till that time, you have to refer to the different reading materials. Actually, if you are facing any voice issue, please check your internet connection because everything is working from our side. Vijay Sisodia is asking about any offline mode of training at Agri SAARTHI. Definitely, we have offline mode of trainings. So you please be there in our groups. Information will be sent to you in the coming days. Parjwal is asking about, if I join class 1 hour class and disconnected due to network issue and rejoin within minutes and complete session is considered as full attendance, and yes, definitely. We have allowed 20 minutes for this internet disconnection problem, okay? So you will be allowed. I have told about the certificate. Soft copy and hard copy will be sent to you. The certificate will be delivered to the address you have provided. Nishish Kumar, certificate will be valid throughout the country. The examination date is fixed and that is 24th of March. Okay, Sridhar Sharma, it is a very good thing that your attendance is complete. Please keep it up. Dhanraj P, At the beginning of the session, first 2-3 classes, I was not aware that the attendance form needed to be filled. However, I attended the classes. Therefore, I kindly request to consider my attendance and help me in this regard. Definitely, if you have attended the sessions, because we do not have only one way to ensure your attendance. We have three channels. First of all, our team mark your attendance physically, or we can say manually, daily. We have their record of your attendance in that manner. After that, because that is why only we have asked you to attend the classes with your student ID and your name. Okay, that is the first thing. Next, whenever you join the daily classes, then Zoom gives us the data like which student was available or present for how many minutes or how many hours. So we provide your attendance in that manner also. Along with that, the third case, you fill the attendance form. That is also a third way, but that is not a short way to ensure your attendance. So you have to attend the classes, right? We make sure to tally the attendance in all three ways, and we mark your attendance as present or absent based on the data available with us, right? Because there are few students who just consider to mark their attendance in the Google form by taking help of their friends, and they think that their attendance will be considered. Then we are very sorry for that, right? You have to attend and you have to manage everything properly. Exam will be on any single day, that is 24th of March. Ruchita Kumbare, you can contact our team. They will update your university name, no issues. If your university name is recently updated, we will update it here also. You can reach out. Okay, P. Sharan Kumar is asking about the certificate that will be available in your login portal at Agri SAARTHI. Okay, and that will be available in physical and digital form with you. You can access accordingly. In attendance form, you need to mention your address wherever you are residing. Ayana, please message to our team if your verification is not done till date. It means you have not submitted the required fee, and if in case you have submitted, then please contact our team. They will verify. As of now, we do not have any pending verifications, right? Yes, Ranjana, it will be enough. Vartika Vishwakarma, the date of examination is 24th of March, time is 6 to 7 p.m. in the evening, and the mode of examination is online, and you will get MCQ type questions along with some short type answer questions, and the number of questions will be 100. Nandini, you need to make sure mark your attendance daily. Do not bother about the proper address. The proper address is available with us on the portal. Is there any more questions you can send in the chat section? I'm still answering to your queries for more 5 minutes. I will be connected. Siddharth Vadne, I have already discussed about your problem. Shia Tojam, due to internet problems, we have provided 20 minutes relaxation. There will be no issue in your attendance. Nandini, if your university name is not in our options, then there was the option to name, like you have to fill your name into the registration at the time of registration. So if you done that, then definitely that is in our database. And if you by mistake chosen some other university, you please contact our team. They will update, and you have to submit the certificate at your university. That is absolutely valid. Okay, Truvin, please contact to our support because I'm not getting your concern, what you really want to ask. I think you have our helpline number, so please contact. Your issue will be resolved. Is there any more queries you want to ask? You can appear for the exam wherever you are. No issues. All right, Tonu Kumar is asking about the benefits of this training program. So you people are connected and gaining knowledge about, sorry, different topics from last 24 to 25 days, right? So first of all, the benefit of this training program is to get knowledge on different aspects of agriculture and allied sciences that will be helpful for your coming future and the coming studies, right? And along with the knowledge enhancement, I think you are aware about the different topics that has been covered in the last 24 to 25 days that are totally different from your regular studies and your college and university curriculum, because we talk about the different entrepreneurship topics and entrepreneurship opportunities that you may pursue along with your studies and after completion of your respective degrees. And after that, we are going to provide you the certificates. The soft copy and hard copy will be provided to you. And if you are 16 committee students, then the credits will be provided to you for that are required for the completion of your degree program, because the 169 credits you have to complete from your regular degrees and 10 credits you have to complete online mode. And after that, this training program is not like that you are going to get the certificate without fulfilling the criteria of attendance and examination, and you will get like that. No, a big no to such students. You are going through proper training, you are going to appear for the examination, and then after that you will get the certificate. So this training is totally different from the various trainings you have undergone so far. This training have some value, this training have some dignitaries with wide knowledge of their subject. So whenever you are going to take benefit of this certificate or this training, that will help you. And if you appear for any internship, an interview, or anywhere you are going to use this certificate, that is going to help you, because there will be proper certificate number given and a QR code will be given that is only allotted to you and which can be verified from anywhere, anytime, right? That will be valid. So these are the benefits, but the main benefit as a student I can tell you is to enhance your knowledge. Never ever focus on the degrees or the certificates or the diplomas. The main thing that you need to focus is on the knowledge you get from any platform or your college or your university. Knowledge should be the priority. Rest of the things can be managed accordingly, right? First, because if you will learn, that is going to be there along with you throughout your life. Spurti Bhartesh is asking about the hard copy certificate. So after 7 days, your exam will be there, and after 7 days, your soft copy will be issued, and after next 7 days, you will be getting your hard copy certificates. Along with the same 7 days period, everything will be done accordingly. I think we have answered all the queries, whatever you have asked. Okay, Dhanraji, you're welcome. Now I think I'm getting only thank you and the appreciations for this training. Right. Thank you so much to all the participants for patiently listening. Okay, thank you. So, dear participants, now I request you to please, if you have not filled your attendance, please mark your attendance and have a good time with your family. Have a good learning that can be helpful for you and the near and dear one of yours, चाहे वो किसान हो, चाहे आपके छोटे भाई बहन हो, आपके माँ बाप हो, आप सभी को जो है यहाँ से जो कुछ भी आपने सीखा है उसको आप अप्लाई कर सके और आपके फ्यूचर में आप जो कर रहे हैं आपके कॉलेज में आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी में उसको भी आप प्रैक्टिकली यूटिलाइज करना शुरू करें अच्छी चीज़ों का जो कि आपके नेचुरल फार्मिंग है ठीक है ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग सस्टेनेबल फार्मिंग उसको आप प्रमोट करें उसको आप अपने घर में करना शुरू करें और वहां से जो आप प्रोड्यूस करते हैं उसको खाएं हेल्दी रहें केमिकल फ्री होने की कोशिश करें और अच्छी आप स्टडीज करेंगे डेफिनेटली दैट इज गोइंग टू pay for you in the coming days. Ramya Manian is asking about any job opportunities. So I have already discussed if it will be there from particular from Agri SAARTHI that will be posted into the group as well as on LinkedIn. So you can check out and you can apply. And if you talk about all the other opportunities from different institutes, then you please keep yourself updated on the different channels, right? Either maybe your college, your university, your friends group, or the different websites of the particular institute or the company. But about Agri SAARTHI, the updates will be provided to you because you are there in the system, you are there in the database and the WhatsApp groups, the different uh, news or the updates will be provided to you. So thank you so much, and we will be meeting at any other day. And I request you to once again, I remind you, please mark your attendance daily, join the daily classes, and do the needful as per the requirements of this course because this is not a course where you will get the certificates without attendance and without examination. You have to go through all these things, right? Okay, thank you so much, all the dear participants. Now I'm about to end this meeting. Before that, I request team members to please send the feedback form few more times so that if the remaining participants are there, they can mark their attendance. Thank you. Have a good day. Jai Hind.